In this day and age, everyone wants to build a luxury brand. Everyone wants to have that exclusive outlook where they are highly regarded by all customers in the space. And when it comes to their competition, there is no competition because they're simply the most exclusive. They can command the higher prices. They have this allure of being so scarce and difficult to find. But the question is, does luxury branding actually work in sportswear? Can you as a sportswear brand build a luxury appeal? Do those two elements mix or they simply don't? Well, that's what we're going to be discussing in today's episode. The first question we should definitely answer is, can sportswear and luxury actually mix? And have other brands done it? Well, the simple answer is yes. How does one build a luxury sportswear brand? Well, number one is we want to focus on quality and innovation. And no one does this better than Nike. Nike established a segment or a subline called Nike Lab. And Nike Lab's sole purpose is to innovate and to implement research and development techniques in order to enhance quality of their products. These types of innovation create a difference. They segment you from your competition. If you're offering a commoditized product, if you're offering a pair of leggings made out of simple nylon spandex that anyone else can purchase from another company, there's nothing that sets you apart in terms of you and your exclusivity and your craftsmanship and the quality of your material. So first thing is you invest into those in order to set yourself apart from the competition. Next up, you need to build brand heritage and you need to get into expert storytelling. If you look at Ralph Lauren, which has its roots in polo, Polo is a equestrian sport that has a regal approach and appeal to it. When you look at Polo Ralph Lauren, sure, at its core, it is and does satisfy the traditional requirements of sportswear. It's utilitarian, it's functional, it's straightforward, it's simple. But how they tell their story, how they tell you that the first set of polo was made specifically for polo riders that used to play this very expensive and very luxurious sport, and that heritage still maintains itself today in how they tell their story, how they shoot their products, how they cast their actors, their models. This is how they bring storytelling to immerse you into the world of Polo Ralph Lauren so that you're willing to pay 3, 4, 10x what a simple or a comparable quality of product would cost. Another way is to commit to exclusive collaborations and limited edition drops. And Adidas is the master of this. By attaching their name as Adidas to a well-known Japanese designer that is extremely well-known for functional, futuristic, avant-garde design, they have created this association that seeps into the rest of their range. So knowing how to implement very focused collaborations into your product mix and creating limited edition drops to generate hype and to create scarcity and to get consumers to purchase so they can buy and they can generate awareness with other consumers, because when someone buys something that is difficult to get, what's the first thing that they're going to do? They're going to tell their friends about it. Next up, you need to cultivate a strong retail and customer experience. The shift that happened in the early 2010s, where customers now had the luxury of purchasing directly from the brands that they were supporting, has sort of shifted over in the last couple of years. Whereas everyone now has zero barrier to entry. You as a company can make your own brand and you can sell direct to consumers simply by having a website or a storefront or a digital storefront. Luxury sportswear brands like ASRV are now opting, even Gymshark to some degree, are now opting to bring in very limited, very focused retail spots in select locations, even though it may not make complete financial sense. But from a luxury branding perspective, by having a point of sales, a physical point of sales, you're not only enhancing the brand image, you're cultivating a more structured and more professional approach to the brand, but now you have a physical space by which consumers can come in, interact with the brand, and this allows you to carve out a further niche from yourself as a direct-to-consumer brand. Lastly, you need to target the right audience. The types of customers that are going to be willing to pay premium prices are not necessarily only premium customers. They are premium customers that want specifically what you have to purchase. This is why Lululemon is a masterclass at premium luxury sportswear. Their initial launch and their range was targeted towards who? Well, it was targeted towards people who are into yoga, specifically on the West Coast. So when you look at their start, the type of customer that they picked actually could afford to pay these premium prices because they were customers generally living in areas with higher cost of living, knowing by virtue of the fact that their customers are into yoga, that they have that disposable income to spend on higher quality products that are charged at a premium price point. So knowing how to tap into the right type of customer is also key towards creating and crafting a luxury experience and a luxury brand. So this is all well and good, but what are some challenges towards mixing luxury with sportswear? Well, number one is we need to combat the existing consumer perception of sportswear luxury, because most people look at sportswear as functional, performance, utilitarian items where necessarily luxury is not the core focus. And it can be quite difficult to undo existing customer perception of what they already see sportswear as. And in some degrees, there can be quite a brand identity conflict. If you're a luxury brand and you lean in too hard into the sports performance space, well, you might lose that luxury appeal over time because you as a brand are focusing on premium, high quality materials that are durable. When you think of those, you think of metal, you think of leather, you think of wool, you think of cashmere, you think of product qualities that are extremely high. And you don't think of synthetics, you don't think of spandex, you don't think of lycra, you don't think of these very functional product categories. So there might be a little bit of a mix and match, even if you look at companies like Louis Vuitton and Gucci who have tapped into some form of athleisure or sportswear space. They've been very careful in how they do so. They try to always maintain their heritage and their roots in classical fashion, but trying to appeal to a changing consumer trend. So there's a balancing act. Last but not least is that consumers that are focused on luxury typically have sustainability concerns. They want to know that their products are ethically sourced. They want to know that their products are made out of the highest quality natural fibers. With sportswear, because of that functional requirement and also because prices are being driven towards the lower end of the spectrum, you typically have to go for potentially less sustainable sources or synthetics on that other hand. So what is the conclusion? Well, sportswear and luxury can be mixed, but one has to be extremely mindful of where they draw the line. And they need to understand that in order to create and craft a luxury brand, you must innovate, you must set yourself apart from the market, you must communicate heritage and value to consumers by educating them. You simply cannot choose only to say that I am a luxury brand and buy my products at this premium price point. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree? Do sportswear and luxury mix? What's your favorite premium luxury sportswear brand? Let me know in the comments below. So if you're curious on how you can create your own luxury sportswear brand and you want my personal help, well, check the link in the description. I offer one-on-one consultation calls every single week. Slots are limited, so if you are interested, check the link as they do run out fast. But I'd be more than happy to hop on that call and to give you tailored, actionable advice specifically for you and your company. Guys, I say this from the very bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Fittdesign TV. Until next week's episode, stay awesome.